Hi everyone, I'm Presly Pedigo, your 2023 USA National Miss, and you're watching my interview with the Pageant Project.
Hello, everyone. It's Adrian from the Pageant Project. My special guest for today is your 2023 USA National Miss, Presly Pedigo. Presly, welcome back. How are you?
Good, thank you for having me back. I'm so excited to be here.
We've chatted before. For those of you who
Yes.
are unfamiliar, last time I chatted to Presly, she didn't have this lovely sash across her chest. So, would you like to just tell people what you've done?
Yes, since we last talked, I was crowned your 2023 USA National Miss, which was so exciting. I represented Tennessee as Miss Rocky Top. I kind of got Adrian on the Go Vols
Go Vols.
bandwagon.
I
Yes, Go
remember that.
Vols. So we're still rooting for Rocky Top, even though we are now the national queen, but it's just been a whirlwind and been so much fun and so exciting so far.
All right, so first thing I have to
Yeah.
ask is, what was it like when you found out that you won? And it was such a weird moment for me because you were there, Victoria Vogue was there,
Yes.
and then Bailey Guy was the MC. And I've interviewed
Right.
all three of you, and I'm just like, my brain hurts like watching. Like any way it gone, I would have been happy. But what was it like when you found out that you won?
So I was just in complete shock. The video, I believe my face. I'm just like my eyes got wide. I didn't know what to do. I remember I wasn't breathing. I kept having to tell myself like, "Oh, you need to breathe." And in the clips, you
Yeah.
can see me like take a gasp every now and then, and that's what I was doing. But it was just I still can't believe it. I'm finally like almost over a month plus later, I'm still starting to wrap my head around it, but, it was something that I worked 3 years for, and so just to be in that moment, it was just incredible and just so grateful and so thankful, but still a complete in shock. I got crowned and in the video, I'm, like, walking down the runway and waving, and I see my mom and my family over off to the side, and I just started running, which is crazy for me because I do show emotions, I get excited, but I know that I would never be someone to, like, drop to the floor or, like, pass out, like, if they were to win a big title, but I guess for me, that was just running down the stage in 7-inch heels. I don't know how I did it, but all was well, no one fell. It was great, and it was exciting. Still is.
Well, as long as you don't do a runaway bride thing and just run away. Although I will
Yeah.
say, if you're not breathing, there is a good chance that you will pass out.
Right.
Was your face sore from all the smiling after the weekend?
I don't know, I think the adrenaline was just still going and face was not sore. My feet did hurt though, I will say. It was a long week but I just had so much fun. I even told my mom halfway through the week that I was just like, "Man, like, I'm sad this is gonna be over. I've prepped all year for this, and I'm just really, like I'm having a great time." And it was just fun. I think that's really what helped this happen is I just really enjoyed the whole process and really made the most of it, you know?
Yeah, it makes a
Yeah,
big difference if you can
for
actually
sure.
enjoy the process rather than just
Mhm.
fixating on the crown at the end.
Oh, of
What
course.
was the first thing that you did to celebrate? I asked this because I interviewed Miss Universe Great Britain, as I told you just last night.
Mhm.
First thing she did was eat an entire pepperoni pizza. So, did you do anything similar, or were you just like still on the straight and narrow and went straight into queen mode?
Well, I did me and my family, we did have a pizza party. So we ordered
Oh,
Papa John's. I love Papa John's, and we were taking all of our pictures on stage, and I told my family and friends, I was like, "Hey, like, y'all get a Papa John's pizza, like, on the road," and it was great. But we did, since I was Miss Rocky Top, I know we talked last time, our fight song at UT
mhm.
Knoxville is Rocky Top, so we all played Rocky Top when we had our Papa John's pizza and, like, danced around the room, like, kinda did a like a do-si-do type moment, but it was really fun. That's what we did. But, yeah, and then I didn't really sleep much. We had to do pictures
Well,
and stuff the next day, so I tried to get a little sleep, but it didn't really happen.
sure. I just need to inquire since you mentioned dancing.
Oh.
Last time, I think you outed yourself quite spectacularly as not being able to dance at all.
Mhm.
I'm going to assume it went better this time or not as spectacularly bad as last time?
Okay, so I remember when I booked the interview, like, I wrote in the notes, I was like, "I slayed the opening number," and you were like, "Do you want me
Yeah,
to put
and I
that
was
in
like,
there?"
"You really want me to put this as a
But
description
I
to
thought
your
it was, like,
interview?"
a funny thing. Yeah, funny. They sent out the opening number before, and there was a lot of it was very, um so UNM, they have their motto, which is positively empowered, and there's 3 parts of it. So purposely bold, courageously just, and freely herself. So each division of the senior division, junior teen, and miss, they each got to represent a part of positively empowered, and so the Miss were purposely bold. So we had like a salsa, spicy type dance. I wouldn't say
Mhm.
spicy, but like there was some hip movements and some stuff
Sure.
going on. It was to Ricky Martin, I believe the song
Oh, okay.
was. Yeah, so it was Ricky Martin. And I was like, oh, like I'm gonna have to practice and really put my best foot forward. And then we did the dance rehearsal, and I
Mhm.
was like in the middle of everyone, like dead center middle. So I was like, I'm gonna have to like really slay, and I practiced and I did good. I had facials going on. They still haven't posted the video of the opening number in the whole show, but I'm dying to see it because people were texting my mom because they know I'm not a good dancer or anything. Like, they know that part scares me to high heavens, and they were texting my mom during the show. They're like, "Wow, Presley actually did really good in the opening number." So,
Was
so
that
to
the
me,
was that the hardest part of pageant week for you?
I would say so. My family, they can probably attest the big mirror that, every hotel room has, like, they would turn over and I would be over there practicing. It was, I think, like an 8 count combo, but I probably did it 30 times throughout the whole week just to make sure
Well,
we were
hey,
good in
okay.
that department, but
So
it was
there's
fun.
hope
It was
for
fun.
all of us at the end of the tunnel. If
There
you can
really is.
slay the opening dance, then anything is possible. Um,
Exactly.
so you've been working at this title for 3 years, and
Yes.
anytime I see a pageant girl going for the same title for 3 years in a row, so obviously you haven't won the 3 years previously. That means something because it means they must really believe in the system. They love the people they meet. They love the staff. So, what does it mean, not just to have a crown, but to be the title holder of this particular system?
Of course. So, I don't know if we talked last time in our interview, but, I was kind of going through a rough mental health stage of my life when I started competing at UNM 3 years ago. I kind of lost my love for pageants, and I was really being hard on myself. I got out of a really tough relationship, which caused me to lose a lot of my self-confidence, and it was something pageants became really hard for me to put yourself out there to be judged, but, all the anxieties I had about competing, I got to UNM nationals, and I was just met with such a positive and uplifting environment, just surrounded by so many girls that were there with such intention, and it really reminded me why I loved pageants in the
Mm,
first place, and it really allowed me to enjoy them again. And then they introduced the Inspire initiative, which was something that really tapped at my heartstrings, just always growing up with a heart for service and being able to create Camp Inspire and just really tie in my passions to this organization was something that allowed me to keep coming back just because
mm.
A, it was fun, and B, I love the message and the morals and the values that they really want to teach girls. And they really inspire a good message, to young women out there.
I just want to talk about the service aspect because, as you said,
Yeah.
you have a heart for service, and sometimes people say that and they don't mean it or they haven't actually done it. But
Mhm.
you are a very different case. I remember seeing, I think it was a newspaper article, at least an online article, and I
Yeah.
shared it on my Facebook page about your camp because I think you ran that since we last spoke.
Yes.
I'll let you describe more about what's involved, but I was really happy to see that, and I think it was the second time around. But I'll let you go into it.
Yeah, of course. So Camp Inspire is my service initiative. It is a day camp for kids to help them find their passion. Inspire is UNM's national platform just to inspire kids to get out there and serve in whatever way is most passionate to them, whether it be serving through compassion, spreading kindness, or even taking care of the earth. So Camp Inspire does just that. It helps kids get connected to local community organization, teaches them leadership skills, gives them opportunities for mentorship for older kids to become counselors, and even just helps these kids know that they can make a difference no matter how old they are and teaches them how to do it. And this was my second year doing it. I'm getting to take it nationwide throughout my year, which is so, so
Oh,
exciting,
wow.
and I cannot wait to see that all unfold, and it's a program that really works and really sticks with these kids. Parents come back to me. We did, a park cleanup the second time we did it. We held it at the local park, and the kids got to clean up the park, and families and parents were coming to me afterwards, and they were saying, "We went to run errands the next day, and little Timmy wanted to pick up all the trash in the Target parking lot." And I was like, "Man, like, these kids, we had so many other fun activities planned that day too, but that was something that they really loved." They would run up with, like, a nasty Band-Aid. They all had gloves on, but they were like, "I found one." I'm just like, "Great," but it's something that sticks with the kids, and I'm just so excited to take that nationwide and really see, what kind of difference we can all make together.
How well did the camp itself go? I mean, you obviously look like you had a good turnout. You seem to really have made
Yeah.
an impact. How did the week go? What sort of activities did you have the kids doing?
Yeah, so it's just a day camp. We did it for
Yeah.
a
Okay.
morning, but we had the fire department come, which I thought was really cool. They brought the truck, and 75% of firefighters start off as volunteers. So they kicked off the morning and told our kids that, you don't have to run through fires to make a difference. You can just be a good person.
Oh,
And they thought that was really cool. We
yeah.
had the USA National Junior Princess come on a Zoom call. She was about the same age as a lot of the kids. Her name is Demi. She was the junior princess last year, so she got to talk to the kids about, even though we are small, we can make a difference, and we can really do
Yeah.
some good out in the world. So that kicked off the day. And then we did, the kids love this as well. We packaged up homemade dog treats for the local humane society. They all wanted to take home the dog treats to their dogs. And we had to explain that no, there are other dogs that don't have families that need dog treats too. And
Yeah.
they also got to make DIY cat toys. So out of recycled t-shirts, they got to tie them together. We had a big station where they were all making them, and they also loved that too. The kids, they really got into that one. And then we did a big park cleanup at the end, and we also made thank you cards to the firefighters who came and visited
Nice.
us. So for our kindness project, we made cards for them as well. And it was fun, action packed morning, and it went really smoothly, and it was a great time for sure.
And you mentioned that you get to take it nationwide. Now that's
Yeah,
exciting because that wasn't on the cards last time. So,
yeah.
I mean, why don't you go into what your plans are for your year of reign? I mean, you were just telling me before we got on air. Sounds like the since you've been crowned, you've been living life at a manic pace. You've changed job, you've changed location, you've got the title.
Mhm.
What are your plans for your year of reign?
Yes, so taking this nationwide, I wanna take it 4 times throughout my year in different regions of the US, one of them being at our national forum or even at nationals next year with the whole junior division, so all of the younger girls that compete in UNM and including their family, including their friends, which is something I'm so excited about too. But other than that, I have a lot of travels. I'm trying to go to as many state pageants as I can. We're going to New York next month. We'll be going to Beverly Hills and the Bahamas and, really bonding with the sister queens, but, just being able to, impact as many people as possible across the country and even in the Bahamas if given the chance. But it's gonna be a really exciting and action-packed year, but I can't wait.
It sounds like a hard life having to
Yes,
go to the
it's
Bahamas
tough.
and Beverly Hills. I seem to remember you having a bit of a shopping problem. That sounds very
Mhm.
dangerous, you in
Yes.
Beverly Hills.
No, for sure. Me and my mom, my dad, he's not gonna be happy when we get back. We'll probably have to get another suitcase, to be honest. We'll
Well, I'm sure
see.
you can get one at Beverly Hills. You can get a very
Oh,
nice
yeah.
one at the
Oh,
Gucci
for
store
sure.
or the Yves Saint Laurent. I mean, that's no problem. They have
Yeah.
everything there
No,
that
we're
a girl
good.
would need. Um, but what about life in general? So, I mean, it sounds like you have some amazing plans for the title. But as I said, like you've graduated. I mean, we should probably
Mhm.
cover that. You
Yes.
said you've moved, you've changed jobs. So, what's going on outside of pageant, Presley?
Right. So graduation was a crazy transition. That was so much fun, and I moved home, and I got a job at a medical spa, so in aesthetics, which is so exciting to be able because I was in urgent care, so I have a year of experience in urgent care, and this is kind of a prettier side of medicine, which I would
Mm,
say. So that's been really cool to learn and learn all the different treatments and different things you can do, like Botox fillers, laser. I'm about to get certified in laser hair removal. So if anyone wants
If
smooth
anyone
skin, I
wants that,
got you.
sure.
Yes. Um, but yes, I still want to apply to PA school, so I'll do that next summer. And I'm going to spend this year, focusing on this title for one, but also, learning more about medicine and getting certifications and shadowing. And I have to take the GRE, which is like a standardized test. So I'll do that later on in the year. But but yeah, so just all that, and I think this is gonna keep me pretty busy, and I really since I did work so fa long at it, I do wanna put as much into it as I can, and, while also focusing on my own passions as well. It was my mom's birthday is coming up this week, so I actually just got back from a family birthday dinner. We all had Mexican food and, spending time with my family and my friends since I am home now from college. It's gonna be a good year.
How challenging is it going to be to balance everything? Because you already had a lot going on. And
Yes,
obviously, when you work so hard for a title and then you win, you don't want to be accused ever of being a slacker. So, in
of
my
course.
experience, you end up working twice as hard as you even did before just to make sure
Mhm.
that they go, yes, we picked the right title holder. How are you going to balance all this? Because it sounds absolutely manic already.
Yeah, I mean, as a state title holder, I could argue that I was busier. I do like to stay busy. I would call myself a busybody, and preparing the whole year for UNM, I was either at school taking tests or driving home to visit family or going to another state to Georgia to practice with my coach or doing service. I've like worked. I had class every day. I worked during the week. I had a day where I was volunteering and I was really busy throughout the year as well, and
Mm,
being home and being in one place, I'm so lucky to have people who are understanding and so supportive of my journey, even the people at my work, the ladies that I shadow when it comes to medicine, they're all so understanding and so supportive, and I think that is so important when it comes to balancing everything, and I won't say it's gonna be easy, it's definitely gonna be hard, there's gonna be a lot of sacrifices. Like, right now, I'm preparing to walk in New York Fashion Week and doing two-a-days because I might have to walk in a swimsuit. So that's something, that's it's hard, but I couldn't ask for anything else. If I wasn't busy, I would be a slacker. Like, it wouldn't be a good year, I wouldn't get the most out of it. So, I know, I'm excited, I think it's just prioritizing what's most important at the time and, just powering through. I can sleep next year.
mm. Is that how it works? Are you
Yeah, you
sure?
just yeah. No, I got my
Okay.
energy drink. We're good. We're good.
I have noticed that a lot of pageant queens do seem to dip very heavily into the energy drinks.
Yeah.
Um, now, just correct me if I'm wrong, but USA National Miss is it three? How many age divisions does it have, Presley?
Yeah, so it has 6. You can compete
Six.
age 4 to 25.
Okay,
Yeah, so I was the miss, I was
not three.
top of the age bracket, yes. So we have our junior princesses, our preteens, junior teens, teens, and miss. And the senior division is just the junior teens, teen, and miss, the older group.
Perfect. How
Yeah,
how closely do you get to work with your sister queens on the other age divisions? Because very often pageants only have one age division
yeah.
and it's just Miss. Sometimes it's Miss, Mrs, and maybe a Ms and a teen. But
Mhm.
given that there are six age divisions, I thought there were three, there's six. Do you
Yes.
get to see your sister queens often? Do you get to work with them? Do you get to chat with them? How does that work?
Yeah, so I get to see them pretty much every time we do a trip, when we go to New York, we're actually all going together. We're all modeling in a show together. I have a show I'm modeling in myself, but we're spending the whole weekend together, going and doing excursions, activities, and even modeling together and traveling together throughout the year. I've talked to my teen and junior teen pretty often since crowning. We're going to do a call and just catch up before we get to New York as well. And I don't have sisters. So being able to they call us the Super Six. That's what they call the title holders from UNM. So being the leader of the Super Six is just so exciting to me to just have 5 little sisters throughout the whole year. And keeping in touch with them. I went to Georgia to watch America's Ideal Miss, and the
Mm.
junior teen and preteen were there. So I got to spend that weekend with them as well. And they're so precious. Like all 5 of them. I'm just obsessed with them all. And I'm excited to work with them and travel with them throughout the year.
You sound like a superhero team. It's like, the
Yes.
Avengers or
Oh, for
Justice
sure. We're
League or
all like,
something like that.
yeah.
What's it like to have? I mean, as you said, you don't have any sisters. So, I mean, do
Mhm.
you have any brothers or you only
No, I'm an
okay.
only
So
child. I have a dog,
okay.
you know.
Okay. Um, what's it like having, because you are the leader, by
Mhm.
virtue of age, what's it like having the younger ones, I imagine, looking up to you? That must feel good. Like, it's a leader, it's a position of responsibility, but at the same time, it must feel good to sort of be the leader of, assuming 5 other amazing young women.
Yeah, no, it's such an incredible feeling, and it's also so much fun, not having little sisters, even the day after crowning, just getting to spend that morning with them, like, me and the littles were making TikToks, and when we went to Georgia, we all did, like, a big crumble review tasting, and just being able to learn from them and just have fun with them is so incredible, and, I mean, it is a big responsibility to have them, look up to me throughout the whole year, but I also look up to them because
Mm.
they're so cool, and they're so spunky, and even my little teen, I think she is just the most beautiful girl ever, and just being able to watch her and watch her grow, and I'm just excited to see where this year takes them all, and I just want to guide them and be there for them throughout the process, and I want to help, the 5 of them shine as well.
Did you say crumble review?
Yes. Do y'all
What's a
not have crumble
crumble?
cookies in Australia?
No, I know, like, apple crumble or bit but what
No,
no. What's a
so
crumble
it's
review?
yeah, okay, wow. Crumble
Don't
is
judge me,
like
I'm from Australia, okay? I don't know
that's you
any
guys
of
still don't
these
have it. I
things.
know they have it in Canada. That's crazy. You
Nope.
have to try it. It's this cookie restaurant, cookie shop. They have new cookies every week. They're closed on Sunday, so you have to wait till Monday when they announce the new ones. But they're huge. They're like this big and they're so good. They're so good. They had one a few weeks ago that was like churro flavored. Amazing.
Oh, okay, yeah, no, for a
They
moment, I was
change them
thinking,
every week. It's great.
so it's a cookie restaurant?
Or like cookie shop, I guess.
Oh, okay. I just have
Yeah.
this image of you all sitting down, like, for entrees, I'll have cookies, for mains, I'll have
No, it's
cookies,
kinda
and
like
then for
yeah,
des
like you gotta go up and you get your cookie. I don't know why I called it a restaurant, but, it's really good. They're all pretty yummy. They have different flavors each week to, like, cater to different tastes. I feel like every, like, pageant interview I do, I somehow end up talking about crumble cookie. I talked about it in my actual interview at UNM somehow. They're
How?
great. I don't
How
know.
how how did
It's
this
great.
you guys have so many things you wanna cram into interview. How on earth did crumble cookies come up?
Couldn't tell you. We did, UNM at nationals, we had a mentorship program, so I
Yeah.
had a little mentee, which was, um her name's Cora, she's from Florida, and so I got to spend some time with her throughout the week, and if it wasn't for that program, I wouldn't have been able to meet her, and I still keep in touch with her and her mom. She's just the sweetest, and she's hilarious, but we did also do a crumble review. So a crumble review is like, you get the new flavors every week, and you kinda divvy them up, and because 'cause they're so big, you can't eat them all by yourself and you wanna try them all, so you just get a bunch of people and you're like, "Let's try, the apple pie. Let's try the birthday cake s'more." Like, so you all get together and you try them, and it's a fun time, I think, and it's good.
So
But we
so
did that as well.
when are
I ended
you
up talking about that somehow.
when are you becoming a brand ambassador for Crumble Cookies? Is this on the horizon? I mean, it sounds like it should be.
It should be. I mean, maybe after New York Fashion Week and possibly walking in a swimsuit. But, Crumble, I'm always here. I love you. I'm there every week. I support for sure.
I can't I
Support you.
can't believe you ended up talking about them during interview. That would have
It's
been an
great.
interview I would have loved to, sit in on. Um, when it I mean, thinking ahead, so you get to the end of the year, do you have any, like, really big goals or that you're reaching for that you'd like to achieve, like, over the next 11 or 12 months?
I just really wanna make an impact and make the most of my year, working for something for 3 years. You get to this point and it's like, wow, like, I can't this was like the door that I've finally been able to unlock and all the lives that I'm gonna be able to touch throughout this whole
Mm.
year, which is so, so exciting, and just to really bond with my sister queens, I've been able to talk a lot now with the director, Miss Jackie, and her daughter
Yeah.
Kayla are just so precious and so sweet, and just really building those bonds and those lifelong connections. That's something that pageants I love about them. You know, you find these friends and these sisters. It's really a sisterhood that you make these bonds with these girls that never break. And I'm so excited. A lot of my friends who competed with me are even saying they're coming back to compete the next year. And I can't wait to
Mm.
follow their preparations throughout the year and cheer them on at nationals. It's not at the beach this year, it's in Orlando, which kind of I miss the beach, but that'll be a lot of fun too. And I just can't wait to see how the year unfolds and just make the most of it and all the travels and taking all the pictures. I'm so excited.
Can you tell me more? Because I've heard multiple people talk about your director, and they always
Yeah.
address her as Miss Jackie, which I
Yeah.
love that level of respect. But obviously, living where you do, there's no shortage of choices as to which pageants you could have gone after.
Mhm.
So I'm really interested to know, why did you decide to go for USA National Miss, or for someone, a young woman watching and considering entering their first pageant or next pageant? Why choose USA National Miss? Because there's got to be something about it that you just went, this is the system for me.
Yeah. So I didn't really know much about UNM, and Miss Jackie, it's funny you mentioned her. She actually messaged me before I even did my state pageant. She's like, "Hey, I want you to look into UNM and learn more about it." And
Mm,
I did, and I learned that I loved their values, I loved their morals, and I love to be on stage. Interview is something that completely used to terrify me. So on stage is my favorite part, and they had a 40-foot runway, and I was like, "Wow, that looks so much fun! Like that would be amazing." And if it is your first pageant, you just have to go out there and try it and go for it because for me, it was a new system. I was
yeah.
coming from a place where I didn't really know if I wanted to do pageants anymore. I was kind of on the iffy about it. And it just, putting yourself out there, making yourself a little uncomfortable and trying something new is sometimes what you need to grow. And that's what happened for me at UNM. So I did my state pageant. I fell in love with the girls. I fell in love with just everything about the system, and even competing at nationals, I just had the best time, and that was something that caused me to come back for 3 years, and it wasn't easy, national pageants, anything you compete in really, it's not gonna be easy, but you just have to make the most of it and enjoy your time and enjoy what you're doing, and it's completely worth it. So go for it, try it. UNM, they have scholarship opportunities. I was given a $10,000 cash scholarship when I won, which is so incredible. I'm saving that for grad school and possibly a abroad volunteer medical mission trip, which is so
Wow.
exciting. Yes, so yes, everything that comes with UNM, the prize package is amazing, but just the girls and the memories that you make mean so much more than that.
So you're not spending the $10,000 cash scholarship on crumble cookies, just so we're clear.
No,
Yeah.
sadly not. I wish. I
That's
wish.
probably a good thing. If
Yeah.
someone's watching this and they're inspired to enter UNM,
Yeah.
what's the best way for them to do it? Do they contact the national office? Should they be contacting their state office? How does that work?
Yeah, so you can go to our Instagram at USA National Miss, which takes you to our website. The website has different state pageants and contact info for them. So definitely start at your state. We are doing open titles this year for a lot of states. So if you don't compete at your state pageant, if it doesn't work out for you, if there's time conflicts, you can still come to nationals, which I think is really incredible. So just opening up those opportunities for a lot of different girls. It's okay to represent a state that you've never been to. That's fine. Um, but yeah, so there's many ways to get involved. Definitely just reaching out, emailing, going online, even checking out our Instagram is a great way to start.
How many girls lost my voice? How many girls were there at UNM in total? It sounds like there were a fair few.
In total, I'm not 100% sure. I believe it was about maybe close to 300. I know my division had almost
300.
40. Yes, my division had almost 40. The teens, I think, had about 60 girls compete.
Wow.
So
Okay.
yes, a lot.
That just blows my mind, because here in
Yes.
Australia, never have a pageant with 40 would already be huge.
Wow.
300. How much do you get to mingle and mix with the other girls? I'm just curious as to how it works. So, do you mainly get to mix with the Miss, your other sort of direct contestants? Do you get to mix and mingle with all the age groups? Because I mean, 300, you wouldn't have time to meet everyone.
Yeah, well, they do have a lot of parties and events throughout the whole week. Registration is a big thing that we do, and we also have the Positive Pageantry Festival. So UNM loves to celebrate girls in other systems, just lifting each other up in the system that
Mm,
you're in. So they always do the Positive Pageantry Festival as a kickoff, and everyone gets to hang out. We do Sisterhood Circle with the girls in your division to get to know each other a little better. We also have they do a banquet gala for awards. They do Club UNM, which is like a big dance party, which is a lot of fun. Ashley Loren is a big sponsor. We do the Ashley Loren Derby party, which is so cute. And they always have like cute pastel themes, and you wear the derby hats. It's adorable. So yeah, there's a lot of opportunities to meet girls in different divisions, and especially with our mentorship program, being able to talk to my little Cora um, was cool. And I know because the senior girl was paired with a junior contestant, so being able to talk to those girls that you really wouldn't be able to meet and get to know as much as you did without that program is really cool. And we have opportunities like that as well.
it just sounds like a lot of fun. It
It
doesn't sound
is
like work at all. It just sounds like a
right.
lot of fun.
It's a very enjoyable week, and, pageants can be stressful, but like I
Mm.
said earlier, halfway through the week, I remember telling my mom, like, "Man, like, it's been a really fun week. I'm sad it's gonna be over," and just being present and being in the moment and, really making those connections, making those friendships throughout the week just makes it 10 times more fun than the parties alone.
You've mentioned your mentee Cora on a couple of
Yes.
occasions. Can I just ask how old is Cora? Because I'm just interested in the age difference.
Yeah, she's 8. And
Right.
she's spunky. She's hilarious. So I got to we called each other before nationals and we just got to know each other a little bit over the phone since she's from Florida. And then at nationals we met up, I believe, 2 or 3 times throughout the week. So we did our crumble review, we did a little gift exchange. She loves Baby Yoda, so I got her a basket of her favorite snacks and then like a Baby Yoda blanket, plushie doll. I don't know. It was fun. And then she got me my favorite snacks too. So I was stocked up throughout the whole week. And just I cheered her on throughout her shows, throughout her prelims. And when I came out of my prelims at the end of the week, she was there outside of the dressing room. And it was just her and her
Oh,
mom were just the sweetest. But yeah.
what's it like having that sort of mentee relationship? I'm curious because it's not like you're that old yourself, but
Yeah.
obviously between yourself and an 8-year-old, there is maybe not a generational gap, but there is a difference. How does a conversation start? Do you ask like, what does she like? Does she ask you questions? I'm just curious as to how that conversation goes.
I mean, I don't know. You just kinda ask them what's going on, how they're feeling. When we called the first time, she had just gotten back from Greece. She's a big world traveler, so she was telling me about
Wow.
all her travels,
Hmm.
and I was telling her what I like to travel, but, and then with kids, the conversation just does a complete 180, and then you can talk about
Yeah.
something else, and it's good, it's fun, and it was just fun to see her throughout the week and just see her blossom and grow. It was her first time at nationals, at a national pageant like that, and so just hearing her experiences, she was just having a blast. Her mom was a little stressed, I think, but Cora, she was living it up. She was having a great time, and it was just fun to see and hang out with her throughout the week too.
Have you learnt anything from Cora? I'm sure she's learnt a lot from you, but would you say that you've learnt anything from her?
Honestly, just to be sassy and be yourself. She models, and then so following her, mom on Instagram, she was just in, I believe, like, um, her city's fashion week, kids fashion week, so just watching her, slay and be herself and not be afraid to get out of your comfort zone and try again. She wants to come back to nationals, which I think is incredible. I saw her the day after crowning. I saw her in the lobby and she's just such a ball of energy and so much fun, and I think we can all learn from that just to make the most of every day.
Absolutely. You've mentioned New York Fashion Week and
Yes.
obviously Camp Inspire and wanting to take that nationally.
Yeah.
What other big plans or what other events are already in the calendar for the next year? Because I've got to imagine there's more than a few.
Yeah, so we have our Bahamas cruise. We're going on a cruise through Bahamas, and that's in February, all of the queens. We also have a trip to Beverly Hills to shoot with Austin Rye, do a self-defense class with Nia Sanchez, and meet with Kristen Dalton. Um, we have a lot of sponsorships throughout the year. I just got a huge case of hint water, which is flavored water. I don't know if you have that in Australia, but it's flavored water. So I get a year supply of hint water. So hint water for everyone. That's something that's fun that's happening throughout the year, and a lot of different state pageants that I'm trying to go to, and yeah, I'm shooting with Carlos Velez to get my official crown shots next month as well in Florida, which it's gonna be a busy year for sure, and a lot of big plans happening. Nationals is it's later this next July, I believe July 14th through the 20th,
Hmm.
maybe. I think it's like around that time. It's a week or two later than it normally is. So that's a big plan and I'm looking forward to as well.
That sounds like quite a busy year.
Yes.
In and amongst everything else, I mean, I always love to. I get eager to watch the Carlos Velez shots come out.
Yes.
Because, like, I've never met the guy, but every time I see Carlos Velez shots, it's kind of jaw dropping. Did you
For
say
sure.
a self defense class with Nia Sanchez?
Yes, I believe she
That's
teaches.
different.
I know, I think it's so cool, and it's so important for women to feel empowered and feel strong.
Mm.
Like, I've started to pick up kickboxing, and I did a kickboxing workout this morning. I have pink boxing gloves. So just to feel strong and feel empowered and learn that from Nia Sanchez, like, that is so amazing and so cool.
I mean, last time we talked, you said you had some issues with, let's say, coordination.
Ah, yeah.
Um, but so how was the kick? I mean, was that your first kickboxing? Did it go okay? Did you accidentally punch anyone? Did you fall over? Is it all under control now that you're
It
the
was
queen?
fine. Yeah, all was well. I did it it was like a video thing that I did. I did it with my
Got it.
boyfriend. He has, like, a punching bag, like, in his garage, and so we've done it a few times, like, the boxing workouts, and we'll, like, take turns. I am kinda worried sometimes that, like, it tells you to, like, throw this punch or do a kick, and I'm like, "Oh, no, like, what if I turn the wrong way and, like, kick you?" That hasn't happened. So, that hasn't happened yet. We're good.
I'm sure he'll be happy with it. Um, Is there any message that you want to pass on to your sister queens or in terms of all the fellow delegates now that obviously you have your title and a lot of people will be looking up to you for your year
Yeah.
of reign? Is there any message that you want to give them? I mean, as you've said, as we've discussed, you've been chasing this title, working hard at it for 3 years,
Mhm.
which is a very long time. I mean, that's like a
Yes.
college degree, basically.
Yeah,
So, is there any sort of message of inspiration you'd want to give, especially those who, let's say, were a bit disappointed that they didn't win or they
of
didn't
course.
do as well as they'd like? What would you like to pass on to them?
Really just truly never give up. My 3rd year at UNM, I did take on the national title, but that didn't come easy at all. My 1st year, I didn't know what to expect. Like I said, I was reintroduced to my love for pageants and just really enjoyed the moment, and I finished in the top 6, but my next year, I really went down in placement. I didn't get to the top 6. I did make semifinals, which was such an honor, but that was really
Mm,
disappointing to me too. I had a really busy year with school. I was taking classes throughout the week and, I had a lot going on, external stressors, but I still left really, really disappointed. And it was this disappointment and this feeling that really fueled me throughout my year because I don't know if you saw, but I got home from nationals in 2022 and immediately started working towards this next
mm,
year, the year that I took home the title. So, it's never too early to start preparing to map out what you want to do and who you want to work with. And if you are disappointed, if you do want to come back, it's okay to take a step back and look at
mm,
yourself from an unbiased standpoint and say, "Okay, this is where I need to improve. This is what we need to do, and here's how we're gonna do it." And sitting down and really looking at the next few months of your life and mapping out how you wanna attack these goals that you wanna work
mm,
on and, working for a pageant for 12 months in advance, like, to some people may seem excessive, but when you love it and you wanna do it, it's okay, and just
mm,
making those sacrifices and putting that time towards it and really making it happen because life gets so crazy and gets so hectic, so being able to be prepared and all of the anxieties I realized that I had with pageants were, I felt unprepared when it came to interview. I was like, "Oh, no, what are they gonna ask? What are they gonna say? Oh, when I do this turn on stage, am I gonna bobble? Am I gonna fall?" But when I got to nationals this year, I had practiced so much, it was like
Mm.
second nature at that point, and really getting that muscle memory, getting those mind connections going, and, top of the mind, tip of the tongue, being able to say those things in interview and getting out those points that you wanna get across and really showing yourself to the judges in those few minutes that you have, just being comfortable with those things and never giving up on your dreams. When I moved out of my college apartment, I found behind a dresser, like, my vision board that I had that I made at the beginning of 2022. It's on my
Yeah.
Instagram, I think, but, all the things that I wanted to come to fruition in my life, when I grabbed it when I moved out, a lot of them did because I never stopped working. You know, UNM being one of them, but even graduating with my neuroscience degree and working in aesthetics, I had something like that on there as well, and traveling and really getting into fitness, which is something that I really did every day throughout this past year, focusing on my mental and physical health, just being able to set those goals for yourself and realize that if you need to improve, that's okay, and work towards it. And just never give up and really enjoy the experience and be present along the way.
When you said that you worked for 12 months,
Yeah.
I'm curious because I know, let's say first time you come into pageantry, you may not be aware that actually a lot of it is hard work. Well, a lot of the girls
Mhm.
put a lot of hard work into it. And I love to see someone working hard at something. And then obviously if they win, I feel like they deserve it because of all the hard
Yeah,
work they put
of
in.
course.
I'm just curious, when you work at a pageant for 12 months, how do you plan that out? How do you strategize it out? Like, what are the different areas? Is it fitness? Is it walking? Is it interview? Because I'm just, if someone really, really wants a title,
Yes,
regardless of system, and
of
they go,
course.
okay, I want to follow Presley's example. I'm going to start working now for next year. Where do
Mhm.
they start?
It's really just doing something excuse me, doing something every day towards this goal. So even if it's there were days that I would go to Atlanta and practice with my modeling coach, and that would be a whole thing that I did that day, like the whole
Yeah.
event. But then there would be other days where I was still trying to nail this turn that I did in the studio, and I would just do it barefoot in my apartment as I was getting ready to
Mm,
leave for class. Like, just do it a few times in the mirror. Or I would be like, class would be about to start, and I was like, "Oh, like, I need to make something on Canva to post on social media," and I would do that real quick. Or you could draft things throughout the week to post later. Um, just really staying on top of social media and posting, and even with fitness. For fitness, me that was a big part for me to feel confident and feel like the best version of myself, and my friends can attest to this. There were a lot of mornings where I got up at 6 a.m. and went to a little cycle class before my school started for the day.
yeah.
And even though that seems so far out, just to feel good about yourself and to feel good in your body and your mind, that's a long process to do as well. And just fueling yourself and pouring back into yourself and focusing on your goals, whatever that may be. Even if it's watching your pageant from this summer, because I know that
Yeah.
I bobbled on stage a few times, I think, and that was something that just ate away at me. I was so bothered that that happened. Watching that and saying, "Oh, how can I improve my walk or my strut? How do I
Yeah.
want to walk? What do I wanna do?" And here are the people you can brainstorm, like, what coaches you wanna start working with,
Mm,
or what do you want your wardrobe to look like? Because that is something that is a very long process as well, and I started working on my wardrobe a year in advance, and then things fell through, and I didn't have my wardrobe until June 2023. That's a whole other story, but I did try to prepare in advance, I will say, but yeah, so just working towards it every day. It can be something big, it can be something small, but just keeping it in the forefront of your mind and just never giving up, I think, is so
yeah.
important.
Did you have, because obviously preparing for something like that 12 months out, and there are some people who
Mhm.
don't understand pageantry, and some
Yeah, of
people
course.
might think that's a bit excessive. Did you have the benefit of a supportive circle of friends when you were doing this, taking it so seriously and putting in the work? Or was it more that this was something that you motivated yourself to do? You had that discipline?
I definitely am very disciplined myself, but I'm so lucky to have supportive friends and family who support my goals, and they get it. They wouldn't do it themselves, but they
Sure.
understand why I do
Yeah.
it. My mom is one of my biggest supporters. Like, she goes with me when I travel, when I do these things, and when I meet with my coach, she never really wants me to drive alone to another state, Atlanta for that matter. So she'll go with me. Um, a lot of people don't get it, and that's okay. People who aren't close to me and not in my inner circle.
Mm.
But what I like to think when you're doing a sport, if you're a basketball player, you don't start practicing for your basketball game the week before. You don't
Uh,
start practicing the morning of. So it's something you gotta keep working at it. You gotta keep doing it. And I'm so lucky to have family and friends who support me and they get that. And, they're really there for me every step of the way. And then at finals, they're holding the bedazzled signs. And my dad had one that was like, it lit up in the audience. So that was cool. But, I'm very lucky in that aspect for sure.
how much do your parents understand about pageantry? Sometimes it's very different between mum and dad. It sounds like your mum obviously is a huge supporter. Does your
Yeah.
dad kind of get it, or he just goes along and holds up the sign?
He does get it. He's very
Yeah.
competitive, so he's always down for the ride. I feel like guys have just they know, like, what looks good and what doesn't, so he's a very honest opinion for me, like, if I'm ever torn. My
Right.
mom and I, we put a lot of thought into things, and sometimes we have to turn to him and be like, "What do you think?" And he's just like, "That, obviously." But he steams my dresses. He's a big perfectionist. He was in the army, big burly
Oh,
guy.
wow. Okay.
Yes, so but because of that, he loves perfection and, like, just very orderly, so when it comes to steaming a cape, a chiffon, he's got it, and there's no wrinkles. So, he's very
Wow.
supportive, and it's great, yeah.
That's amazing, only because I recently interviewed a
Mhm.
pageant girl over in Canada who served in the armed forces and now actually is a
Yes.
volunteer firefighter.
Yeah.
And my biggest point of fascination with people in the military is the shoe shining. I mean, you're
Yeah.
talking about how, steaming the dress and how everything has to be perfect. Does your father have really, really, like, shiny shoes and pressed clothes himself? Is that something that he still has instilled in him?
I mean, when he makes his bed, it looks amazing. You could, like, flip a quarter on it. But he also is a
Wow.
landscaper, so a lot of his clothes are older than me, I will say. But when it comes to, like, keeping things tidy and keeping things orderly, he's, like, A plus in that department for sure.
Wow. Sounds like you took that part after him. I mean, you said
Yes.
you were disciplined. So, I mean, just before we go towards the final
Yeah.
10, if you had to describe, like, let's say, or I'm asking your best friend, describe Presley in, like, 3 words or something like that. What qualities do you think make you you? Is discipline one of them? What other ones would you put in there?
They would definitely say disciplined and driven because, I make those sacrifices to go after those goals and, um, you know, they also would probably say that I love my family, I love my friends and my dog, and that I'm just fun and, they wouldn't say funny. They would not say funny. But, but yes, they'd say I'm very driven, very hardworking, and just all around just a good heart. I think I have a good heart to people, and I think they would say that too.
I agree with that. And she
Yeah.
loves crumble cookies.
Loves crumble cookies and Diet Coke.
Why the not funny? Have you tried making jokes and it just falls flat? Like, what's going on here?
Kind of, yeah, I guess so. Yeah. I feel like I don't know why I said that. I feel like a lot of times, people are like, "Oh, my friends say I would be funny," and I am funny to my friends, but I'm just not I have a dry sense of humor, I would say, I guess. Yeah,
It doesn't matter if they're laughing at you or with you, as long as they're laughing.
exactly. Perfect.
Just before we get to the final 10 for the second time, is there anyone you'd like to give a shout out to this time around?
Yeah, so if my family, if you're watching, my mom, my grandma, my dad, my grandpa, hello. I don't know. I think they're out because we all had dinner before this. So I'm not sure if they're still out running errands, but hello to everyone. You're tuning in.
Perfect. All right. Well, let's get to the final 10. I'm going to be thinking if I can remember your answers from last time. We'll
Uh,
see. If you have the same
okay.
answers, you have the same answers. I don't
Okay.
remember anything in particular, but it may come back to us as we go through.
Okay.
So let's find out. Number one, what is your favorite word?
My favorite word, I would say slay. I think I said that last time.
Sounds somewhat familiar. Okay.
Yes.
Number two, what is your least favorite word?
Still buttermilk. I know I said that last
Oh, that
time.
one.
Buttermilk. Yes. Ugh.
I still don't understand that
I think
at
it's
all.
the pronunciation of it.
Are there any other
Um,
words that you dislike for that reason, or is it literally just that one word, buttermilk?
I don't know, it just that's the one that comes to mind. There's a road, like, on my drive to college, there's an exit that's called Buttermilk Road, and every just driving by it so many times, I'm just like, "Ugh," like, I could never.
I feel like you should pull over and take a photo underneath underneath that sign just
Next
to show
time,
that you've
maybe I will,
conquered your fear.
for sure.
Number 3 in life, what gets you excited? What turns you on?
I would say my family and my friends.
What about what turns you off?
Negative people?
That makes sense.
Yeah.
Number 5, what sound or noise do you love?
I love my fan. I'd sleep with a fan next to me, so, like, the white noise, love that.
I remember you saying that because last time I made you turn your fan off. So
Ah, yes, yes. I turned
I
it off
can't.
before the interview this time.
Oh, okay. I was going to say I can't hear anything. So thank
Yeah.
you for remembering that. Are you someone who needs a white noise to fall asleep?
Usually, yeah,
Yeah.
I'd say. If it's too quiet, it's just, like, eerie almost to me.
Yeah, well, I literally have a white noise machine. I
Right.
never thought I would need such a thing, but now I can't fall asleep without it. And the sound
Yes.
I get it to make literally is a fan noise. Number 6, what sound or noise do you hate?
I hate, like, nails on a chalkboard. Pretty common answer.
Number 7, if you could have any one superpower, what would you pick and why?
I would say to fly, to be able to bypass traffic. That'd be nice. Nashville's growing a lot, so driving places would be a lot easier.
What job would you most like to attempt?
Tempt. I think being an event planner would be so much fun. Like planning weddings and, parties and all those kinds of things. That would be cool to do.
I can see that. I think you'd be very good
Yeah,
at that, given that you're so good at strategizing things. I think that'll be a very
right.
natural fit for you.
It'd be fun.
What about what job would you definitely not like to attempt?
Hmm. Probably professional dancer. That wouldn't be for me, I don't think.
You haven't changed your mind after you slayed on stage?
No, that was a one-time thing. That was
That,
an 8 count.
that's
I tackled the
that's
8
the
count.
peak.
I don't know about a
That's the
profession.
peak.
That's the
After
peak.
that, it's all downhill from here. That's as good as it's
Yes.
going to get. I need
Mm.
to find if that video ever comes out. Can you please let me know because I need to watch it, and
No,
I can
for
put it.
sure.
I can put it next to over with you saying that you don't know how to dance, and I can show you dancing. Like, well, anything is possible.
For
Uh,
sure.
Final question: if heaven exists, what would you like to hear God say when you arrive at the pearly gates?
I would like to hear him say that I did a good job and I deserve to be there, and my family is there as well.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Well, Presley, thank you so much for coming on for round 2. Congratulations again on your big win. And I'm really excited to see what you do with your year of rain because I know you're going to put in a lot of hard work. And I
Thank
really, really
you.
want to encourage other girls when they win their big title that's in many ways just the beginning of the journey or the beginning of another journey. I don't know if you'd agree
Of
with that, but
course.
it's like you almost
No.
start from ground zero. And it's like now the hard work has to begin.
Yes, no, for sure. The hard work continues, and it's gonna be a great year. I can't wait.
Ab Absolutely. I think many, many energy drinks will be consumed.
Yes, for sure.
We might need a sponsorship there. But
There
I
we
will
go.
keep you on the line for just a second whilst I hang up
Yeah.
with the audience. Thanks everyone for watching, and we will speak to you next time. Bye for now.
Bye.
Hey, thanks so much for watching. Sorority Access is now open. So if you'd like to join an amazing group of women and learn how to be the most powerful, confident, and impactful queen possible, head to thepageantsorority.com. I'll see you there and see you in the next video.